The critical issues that we were facing were a lot in our reporting in our previous applicant tracking system that we were using. We had to do a lot of manual reporting to be able to produce information, which was not time conducive to our team. In addition to that, we were working with a applicant tracking system that was very open and that there were a lot of hands involved in that, and it made for a more challenging recruitment model for our organization. So we were looking for something that was streamlined and allowed us to have less hands in the pot. I guess as we called it, less hands in the pot, trying to really look for just the key players to be involved in that process. Riverside Health System chose Healthcare Source a lot because of the sales representative that was marketing with our organization. He presented us with solutions that made sense to our organization. He really honed in on understanding what we were challenged with, what we were facing, and what our key objectives were in looking at a new system. And he stayed with us throughout the process. He was easy to get to know. He really learned a lot about our organization, and he didn't oversell the product. He wanted to make sure that it was the right product for us, and that really made a difference for Riverside because we wanted somebody that cared about what we were looking for. Riverside did evaluate other systems. We looked at about 10 systems actually, many of them very similar, many of them very sophisticated, but we were looking for one that was sophisticated but yet easy to use that our hiring managers would be able to transition to well. The capabilities and the system features that we were mostly interested in was the dashboard. Our previous applicant tracking system was down to the individual level of the candidate and the requisition, which was a challenge. We call it buckets of work, and we really struggled to figure out where those buckets were. We had to rely a lot on reporting. With Position Manager, the one thing we love is that really you walk in and you can tell exactly where you need to focus your time. The Position Manager system gives you everything ready-made right on your dashboard. You know exactly where you need to spend your time and energy. And that was one of our biggest advantages to going to Position Manager, and it has really helped us streamline processes, get through the workflow in a more time-efficient manner, and just become more effective. Our experience working with the Healthcare Source Position Manager after our go live, it's been wonderful. Our implementation specialist actually stayed on with us throughout several months after we went live, which was a great help to us. That way we weren't transitioning over to a new team so quickly. However, after we were switched over to the account specialist, we've been very pleased. Our support specialist, Kelly Johnson, is wonderful to work with. She's very responsive to our needs. She answers emails and report and inquiries at pretty much any time of day. So we've been able to get fast turnaround times. Many times we hear that could take up to this amount of time. We very rarely see where anything takes as long as what they might estimate it might take, which is always give us the longest date, and then we're really excited when we get it actually a lot sooner. So the process has been very smooth, very easy to work with. The specialists have all been wonderful. If others ask me about Healthcare Source, which many times I have been asked, I recommend it highly. Our process from the beginning to the end has really been very smooth. I tell them all that Healthcare Source cares about you as a client. They want to hear what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what you would like to actually see in future releases. We've seen where some of our ideas have actually already been implemented, whether they're our ideas or other clients, we never know. But it is nice to see that they actually care about the client that they're servicing and that our needs are met. I've had the opportunity to talk with the manager of development, the manager of reporting, and many other people, and they've really cared and taken much time to understand what our needs are. So I would highly recommend Healthcare Source to any client that is in the healthcare field.